Hello everyone, my name is Jenny and I come from Hadnam Methodist Church. Well, what funny times we're living in. None of us know what will happen next. We don't know what will happen today, or tomorrow, or in the future. But one person does know what will happen, and that is God. We hope that God will guide us and take care of us. Let me tell you about a man who lived a very long time ago. In fact, so long ago that he was the very first person in the Bible. The man's name was Abraham. Abraham was a very rich man. He had many animals, camels, sheep and goats, lots of servants, and his wife called Sarah. But he had no children. He would have loved to have had some children, but he and Sarah had not been blessed with any, and now they were too old. And as old, if not older, than your granny and granddad. They lived in a very nice place called Haran. He liked living there, and they were very comfortable. Abraham knew God. He listened to him and he brought his troubles to him. One day, God told Abraham to pack up his home and take his wife and all his servants and animals and possessions and leave Haran and go to a place called Canaan. Now, it was a very long way, especially as Abraham and his wife were old. There were no removal vans or lorries to take them there. They had to walk all the way. They put their trust in God's word and off they went. It took them a long time. Canaan means land of milk and honey. So you can imagine it was a lovely place. It was full of flowers and lots of good grass for all of the animals. And Abraham and his wife liked it very much. God said to Abraham one night, "Look up at the stars. One day you will have more children and descendants than there are stars in the sky." Abraham laughed. "We're much too old to have children," he said to God. But he had hope too. One day, some travellers came by his home. They were weary, and Abraham, who was a good and generous man, invited them in. He made them food, gave them comfortable cushions to rest on. He washed their feet, as people had to walk everywhere in those days. Their feet got sore and dusty, and he told them to rest. The travellers thanked Abraham when they left. They said to him, "We will come back this way on our way home in a year's time. When we come, Sarah will have given birth to a baby." Sarah heard their remarks and she laughed. She laughed and laughed and laughed, and so did everyone else, because she was so old. But do you know, next year, when the travellers came by again, Sarah did have a baby son, a baby they had always hoped for. They called him Isaac, which means laughter, because he brought so much joy to them all. We hope that we will soon be able to live our lives without lockdown, but like Abraham, we have to obey what God says and hope that he will bring us safely through all our troubles. If Abraham hadn't obeyed God and had stayed in Haran, he would never have had his son Isaac. He put his trust and his hope into God's hands. Shall we say a prayer together to God? to help us try to remember that He's always there and He's always looking out for us. If you would like to join in, shut your eyes and put your hands together, and at the end you can say Amen. Dear God, we hope that the pandemic will soon be over and we will all be able to go back to school and see our families again. We know we must obey the rules and by doing so care for other people and our world. Keep our hopes alive in our hearts and minds and help us to enjoy our world. Amen. Thank you for listening to the story. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you again another day. Bye-bye.